Russian Orthodox Church and punk music update now. And
what a biathlon that is. That is a real test of your all-round abilities. You can take Ennis's heptathlon. Anyone can do that. Anyone can jump over some hurdles and chuck some things and jump around. But if you can combine the Russian Orthodox Church and punk music, you are a true all-rounder.
A band of 3 Russian women called Pussy Riot are currently on trial in Russia.
That was my nickname at school.
I don't know why that surprises me so little, Andy. I'm just waiting for my body to go into shock. But
who gave you that nickname?
It seems natural.
Oh, it was a mistranslation.
They're currently on trial in Russia after being accused of wearing brightly coloured balaclavas and singing an anti-Putin punk prayer in the Cathedral of Christ the Saviour in Moscow. They've already been imprisoned for 5 months on charges of hooliganism and were initially facing up to 7 years in jail at this trial. It seems like the anti-Putin part of the anti-Putin song is the key problem. The song called on the Virgin Mary to help them get rid of Putin, but I don't know how they thought the Virgin Mary was going to do that exactly, but, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. And Pussy Riot are a punk band. I guess that is no real surprise. You know what you're getting with a band called Pussy Riot, Andy. You're getting punk music. You are not getting a string quartet. You're never going to go to the Royal Albert Hall and hear the announcement, next on tonight's programme, performing Haydn String Quartet, Opus 76, number 1 in G major. Please welcome Pussy Riot.
Well, you really clearly never saw the Cockhammer a cappella quartets.
Was that off the top of your head, Andy?
Well,
did the Cockhammer a cappella quartet? Is that something that just...
When you say, is that off the top of my head? If you're saying, do I have the commemorative Cockhammer hat? Yes, I do.
He's wearing it now.
What a performance. Mozart's Requiem. Awesome.
The trial has caused a big stir in Russia, and the husband of one of the women involved has been keeping an amazing diary of each day in court. Apparently it's been quite a spectacle. The defenders are being kept in a glass box, and there is a huge dog in the middle of the courtroom who barks crazily whenever anyone raises their voice. It's amazing. That
sounds like something they've missed out in the Olympic cycling. They've got a race that started with a guy on a motorised bicycle, basically a motorbike going round, always pulls out, cheapens the victory for the person on the bike. But having a large dog barking, if you had the cyclist dressed as postman and a large dog starting the race.
Oh, that'll be fantastic. Also, the witnesses that the prosecution have been calling sound particularly amazing. The husband wrote that, I quote, "A woman who looks after the candles in the church testifies. She says she saw the girls devilish twitching and committing impudences." Is this a court case from the mid-12th century, Andy? Because I think that's the last time either of those charges were levelled at a woman.
I think devilish twitching ran for Jamaica in the 400 metres.
Then the witness stand really took it up a crazy peg, because a man stepped up and said the girls had placed themselves in hell, that they declared war on God, that hell is as real as the Moscow subway. Really? Does that mean hell is as beautiful as the Moscow subway, Andy? Is it as famously architecturally breathtaking? Or is he saying that the Moscow subway, like hell, does not necessarily exist, and may just exist as a state of mind in the true believer? Or, as a third option, is this guy f***ing mental? It's got to be one of those three.
Well, what you would expect in any disputes involving the Russian state and the Russian Orthodox Church is for Madonna to get involved. And it's happened so often in all some Russian state and church disputes. She was there, of course, on the streets of St. Petersburg in 1917, singing an early version of Like a Virgin. But she stepped in and expressed her support for Pussy Riot, and a senior Russian official has called her a moralising slut, or the Russian term for slut, in response to this, which seems seems a little bit. I mean, he could certainly quibble with her certain aspects of her musical output over the last 20 years. That seems far more relevant than just casting these personal insults at her. But it does suggest that Madonna could definitely have a role resolving international disputes. I'd like to see Madonna deployed to the Middle East, John. I think she could be the one to bring the Israelis and the Palestinians together in united admiration of getting into the groove.
Well, she's got a bit of previous on this tour, because on this current European tour, she caused a stir in France by putting up a picture of Marine Le Pen with a swastika on her face. Now she has done this concert in Moscow by writing Pussy Riot on her back and wearing one of their signature colourful balaclavas. Basically, she's been going all across Europe, travelling the continent, somehow managing to make everyone's problems all about her. And as you say, the Russian official, who was a deputy prime minister and a former ambassador to NATO, he called her a moralising slut, and went on to say, either take off the cross or put on underpants. Now, interesting, I believe that was the exact argument that thousands of abused children made to their Catholic priests, Andy. Either take off the cross or put on under... You can't have it both ways. There was a spectacular quote as well from one man railing against the band who said, "You wouldn't insult your parents, and in the same way you wouldn't defecate in a church." Now, that is literally apropos of nothing, Andy, but it's still a pretty eye-catching sentence, because you could insult your parents, that's not against the law, and nor is defecating in a church, as long as it's in any of the designated bathrooms in that church or is a genuine, unavoidable accident. And, those women weren't doing either of those things, so, that man's logic is as real as the Moscow subway. And people all over the world are showing their solidarity for the members of Pussy Riot by wearing their trademark colourful balaclavas. Andy and I are both wearing colourful balaclavas right now.
Yep.
You obviously can't see that, but you might be able to slightly hear it. Although, just to be clear, we're both wearing very intricate balaclavas in the colourful but intensely realistic patterns of each other's faces. As it happens, we do that anyway for all Bugle recordings. It's nothing to do with the Pussy Riot Girls whatsoever. It started way back. I think it was something to do with wearing them so that if either of us ever robbed a bank, we could blame it on the other one.